Today we're discussing the 10mm auto, its history, its performance, its police and military use, its effectiveness on game. Hi, I'm Ben, this is Benny, this is episode 10, let's get into it. General information. The 10mm auto, also known as the 10x25, is a rimless automatic pistol cartridge. The 10mm was designed to be a medium velocity pistol cartridge with better external ballistics than the 45 ACP and capable of greater stopping power than a 9mm. History. The history of the 10mm started in the early 70s when the then current editor of Guns and Ammo magazine, Whit Collins, became interested in making a Wildcat pistol cartridge using a 40 caliber projectile. Collins devised a cartridge based on the 30 Remington case, shortened to 22mm, and reamed to accept the 40 caliber projectile of the old 3840 Winchester centerfire cartridge. It wasn't long and Jeff Cooper got involved. Cooper was the founder of what is now Gunsight Academy in Arizona. Cooper had been looking for a pistol cartridge that would push a 200 grain projectile at around 1,000 feet per second. Unsatisfied with Collins' original design, Cooper lengthened the case by 3mm to increase powder capacity. Cooper then began collaborating with Thomas Dornaus and Michael Dixon on a semi-automatic pistol to chamber this cartridge. These two men created Dornaus Dixon Enterprises Incorporated and based their pistol design on the Czech CZ 75. This new pistol would become the Bren Ten pistol. Dornaus Dixon convinced the Swedish ammunition company Norma AB, now known as Norma Precision, to manufacture this new cartridge, and in 1983 the 10mm auto was born. Unfortunately for the Bren Ten, due to reliability issues, production setbacks, and a high retail price, was a commercial failure, and the Dornaus Dixon company declared bankruptcy 3 years later, producing only 1,500 pistols. Luckily, this wasn't the end of the 10mm. In 1987, Colt released the Colt Delta Elite, chambered for this spicy pistol round. This pistol gathered a lot of attention early on, but the Delta Elite started having reliability issues. The issue was the 10mm cartridge was beating the gun to death. Colt redesigned the recoil springs to mitigate the excessive slide velocity caused by this powerful cartridge, and made a small modification to the frame to prevent cracking. At this time, in the wake of the FBI Miami shootout, where 2 special agents were killed and 5 were severely wounded, it was determined that the current FBI-issued guns, 9mm pistols and 38 special revolvers, failed to incapacitate the suspects and contributed to the loss of life of these agents. The FBI declared the 10mm auto was the best to mitigate these inadequacies, but they needed a pistol to contain it. Colt and Smith Wesson submitted entries, but the Colt single-stack magazine and single-action hammer fell short of the requirements. The Smith & Wesson Model 1076 got the FBI's nod, but complaints of excessive recoil by agents in the field eventually led the FBI to lower the velocity of the 180 grain loads. This load became known as the 10mm FBI. Smith & Wesson then shortened the case back to 22mm, thus creating the 40 Smith & Wesson. Today, the 10mm auto is kept alive by a passionate group of gun owners that are enamored by its external ballistic performance, and a handful of police and military organizations that require its specific attributes. Police and military use. Even though the 10mm lost out to the 40 Smith & Wesson among regular FBI agents, the 10mm is still used by the FBI Hostage Rescue Team, SWAT teams, and many other law enforcement agencies in the USA. Denmark also issued the 10mm Glock 20 to the Sirius Sledge Patrol in northeast Greenland. These pistols were issued for last resort defense against polar bears, which the unit sometimes encounters during patrols. Performance. The 10mm auto produces a significant amount of energy compared to other auto pistol cartridges. The full power 180 grain loads leave the barrel at around 1,200 feet per second, and 200 grain loads produce just over 1,000 feet per second. This is great, coupled with many 10mm pistols having standard capacity magazines of 15 rounds or more. This combination has made this cartridge popular for protection against large carnivores when venturing into the wilderness. The 10mm can also be an effective hunting cartridge, and it can cleanly take deer and pigs at reasonable distances. My opinion. I really like it. The 10mm is an awesome cartridge.